Well, my predictions last week didn't go too well. I guess if I was going to do this, I didn't know I was going to do this again. I didn't plan on it, but I I should have done it yesterday, so I would have been able to predict Thursday Night Football. But just for what it's worth, and I'm being honest, I would have picked the Jets to win, and I would have been close. That was actually a really great game last night, but I was wrong. I'm also going to throw in my predictions about Alabama, my football team for college. Since I have more to say about Alabama than anything else, then I'm going to say that to the end of the video. If I have more to say about the Cowboys next week, then I'll talk about the Cowboys at the end. It's whoever I have more to talk about. And Cowboys will, depending on what Alabama does, the Cowboys will probably be at the end of next week just because Romo's going to be back. Yes, Romo's coming back. Anyway, let's see. NFL schedule. Let's see what we have here. I'm just going to run through the picks. Like I said, the Bills beat the Jets last night, 22-17. I would have picked the Jets to win by probably a touchdown. And the Jets came storming back. Honestly, the Bills didn't win that game. The Jets just sort of lost it. They had all the momentum, and they had great field position at the end, and they didn't get it. And they went for it on fourth down and field goal range. One time didn't get it, and they went for it towards the end of the game and didn't get it. So if they had kicked 2 field goals, they would have won this game. But what can you do? Okay. Jaguars at Ravens. Oh, hold on. My battery's running low. Let me plug my charger up. Alright, let me just keep saying while I'm doing this. Okay. Jaguars and Ravens play on Sunday. Now, this is an interesting game just because the Jaguars are possibly an up-and-coming team, but the Ravens, a lot of people pick them to be a dark horse for the Super Bowl, myself included. I thought the Ravens would be, honestly, I thought they'd be the biggest challenge in New England in the AFC, but they're obviously not. Both teams are probably not Super Bowl bound, if I had to guess. Of course, they have the same record as my Cowboys, or better, they've played less games. Anyway. I got to give it to Baltimore. I feel like Flacco's going to make the plays he needs to make, and this team was off a Super Bowl win just a few years ago, and Jacksonville hasn't been good in a while. So I got to feel like Baltimore will be able to pull this one out. They have the better players. Browns Steelers. Steelers are going to. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say Ravens are going to win. I'll say 28-10. I don't think it's going to be close. Okay, Browns Steelers. I don't necessarily dislike Johnny Manziel. I mean, I did in college just because he played Alabama all the time. NFL Manziel, I don't really. What kind of pisses me off, though, is Cleveland drafted the guy in the first round, and then they don't really give him much play time. I mean, not many people are picking him to be good, but if you're going to draft him in the first round, let the guy play. They started a perennial backup who's never amounted to anything in the league. McCown, I think his name is. But why not just play Manziel? Just give the guy a chance. You're not having a good season anyway. How about you just let Manziel play, get some experience? I don't know why for a team that drafted him in the first round, they sure are anti-Manziel. You would think if you drafted Manziel in the first round, you want to try Manziel out. I know they've played him some, but not nearly as much as they should. But with that being said, Pittsburgh is still a possible playoff team. I'm not sure who's in first place in their division. I can't think of what division Pittsburgh's in. Okay, but God, what division is that? NFC? I don't know, but I think Pittsburgh's they're 5-4, so they have a good shot at a playoff spot since there aren't many great teams this year. So Pittsburgh's going to win 20. I'm going to say 24-14. I think Manziel's going to score a couple touchdowns. Panthers at Titans. Okay, Panthers are the better team. Cam Newton's playing like no one in the NFL except for Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the only player who's playing better than Cam Newton as far as I'm concerned. He's having a great year. And with that being said, I'm still not convinced on the Panthers. I know they beat Green Bay. I know they beat... Who the hell did they beat? Oh, shit. See, this is what happens when I just do these on the spot. Carolina beat... Who did Carolina beat? Hold on. Another very, very noteworthy win for Carolina. Season schedule. Let's see. Maybe I'm just wrong. The Colts, maybe? I don't know who I'm thinking. I thought they beat someone else really noteworthy, but they beat Green Bay. They beat Green Bay. They're 8-0, and Carolina should win this game. But just to mix it up, I'm going to pick Tennessee to win. And I think Tennessee has a shot. I think Mariota is actually pretty good. I think Tennessee's lost several close games. And Carolina, I'm still not sold that they're that good. So I'm going to say Tennessee wins 20-17. That's another thing. Carolina doesn't score many points, really. So, okay. Chicago at St. Louis. I'm going to pick Gurley running over the Bears and Cutler. And they win 24-20. Alright, Cowboys, Buccaneers. I'll get to that in a minute. Lions, Packers. Aaron Rodgers is probably pissed off. He's going to have a field day against these Lions. Packers win 35-21. No, what am I saying? The Lions suck. They win 35-10. There we go. Okay, Dolphins, Eagles. Dolphins. The Eagles just aren't that consistent. Although they did make some plays. Obviously, they made more plays than the Cowboys. But they're only 3-5. I feel like this Dolphins team is still pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins over the Eagles 21-20. It's a pick 'em game, really. Okay. Saints, Redskins. I'm picking the Saints to win, I don't know, 17-28. I just feel like Breeze is starting to pick it up. He's having a pretty good season. It's not great, but pretty good. He's picking his game up. Washington, Cousins hasn't been awful, but Washington's Washington. They suck. I don't care how good they think they are this year. Okay. And I'm not saying they think they're good this year, but for them, they're doing pretty good because they're near the top of the NFC East. Of course, everyone's near the top. You should call it the bottom, really. Who's the least bad team in the NFC East? Okay. Vikings at Raiders. Raiders are only 4-4, but I'll tell you what, this Oakland Raiders squad is actually pretty good. They've lost a couple of close games, and they've looked very, very impressive. Good to see Amari Cooper doing some good things there, too. I'm going Oakland. Oh, hold on. Something popped up on my computer screen. All right, I'm going Oakland to win this game. Carr's looking like a really good quarterback. Him and Cooper are a great tandem. They came so close to beating the Steelers last week. It's ridiculous. Okay. I'm picking the Raiders to win 20-17. Chiefs, Broncos. Broncos will win that. Don't know much to say. Chiefs are sort of like the Ravens where they've really, really underperformed. Although I don't know how many people actually picked them to do that well, but still, they're only 3-5. The Broncos will. I don't know. Peyton got hurt, didn't he? He hurt his foot or something. I think he's expected to play though. So either way, this Broncos defense will be enough to beat the Chiefs. They'll win. I'll say 20-10. Patriots at Giants. Now this is a very interesting game because Eli Manning. If anyone has the Patriots number, it's the Giants. And if any quarterback has New England's number, it's Eli Manning. Weird to say. I know Brady and Peyton Manning are supposed to have the big rivalry, and they are really the big rivals. But Eli, he can beat the Patriots. But the Patriots are 8-0. The Giants are 5-4. The Giants are not half bad this year. I think this is the. Let me think before I say this. Yeah, for sure. This is the best chance New England has to lose all year long up to this point. Their best chances are against Denver in a few weeks, but New England is for sure in trouble this week. They lost their starting running back, and Eli's been playing. He's had a good year. He's had a really good year. But I can't pick against the Patriots. I think this is going to be a close game, though. I say Patriots win 27-20. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm really excited to watch it, too. It's going to be a nail-biter. Ooh, CBS. I think, is this a CBS like primetime game? I think so. All right, Sunday Night Football. Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. As far as I'm concerned, the way Seattle's been playing, if they lose this game, their season's over. They don't make the playoffs. Arizona's leading the division at 6-2. Seattle's at 4-4. They won't get a wild card. They will not win the division if they don't win this game. And I think Seattle will win this game. They're going to win this game. Shoot, I keep on accidentally tapping stuff. Whoa, where'd I go? Okay. Seattle's going to win this game. I'm going to say, God, I don't know. It's not going to be very high scoring. I'll say 20-17. I think Seattle wins. That doesn't necessarily mean that their season's saved, but I think they're going to win this game and keep it alive for a while. Texans, Bengals. Texans suck. Bengals. I'm not going to be sold on the Bengals until they win a playoff game, okay? I'm sorry. They choke in the playoffs every single year. So until they actually show me they can win in the playoffs, I don't care how good they look in the regular season. But regular season-wise, Bengals are pretty good. So I'm going to say they win 28-14. Back up to the Cowboys. Okay. 2 more picks. Cowboys and Alabama. This Cowboys team is trying to really, really hurt me emotionally and physically. If you saw my reaction video, just because they come so close in every single game they play, and they just barely lose every time. Barely lose. And I can't make an excuse because it's like I said in my reaction video. I've had the mindset of if we had Romo, we would probably have scored more points and we would have won. I still stand by that. I think that's true. I'm not saying that was incorrect. But I can't argue against the notion that real championship caliber teams find ways to win. They just do. And the Cowboys have not been able to do that. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't possibly win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying, if they make it to the playoffs with Romo, they couldn't do it. But it's just sort of depressing. And I'm mixed right now because this team is not as good as I thought they were. But at the same time, I still feel like they could win it all. Now, I don't think they're going to beat New England this year, but they could win the NFC this year with Romo. But they're not going to do it if they lose this game. Now, Tampa Bay is interesting because sometimes, what's their record? They're 3-5. Sometimes they actually look pretty decent, and then other times they don't really. Jameis Winston's had a okay year. Okay. And for a rookie, that's considered good, okay for a rookie's pretty good in the NFL. This is a must-win for the Cowboys, and in my opinion, if they don't win this game, I think they should bench Romo and tank the season and get, I don't know if you should get a lockdown defensive guy or a running back early, but for sure, I would say Kimdichie at Ole Miss would be a D lineman. He'd be a very good acquisition for the Cowboys, mainly because I'm talking about the draft way ahead of time. And this is if they tank the season. They won't get Kimdichie if Romo comes back and they start winning. But a good D lineman will, first of all, help with the run defense. It will also bring more pass rush to combine with Hardy, and that will put a lot more pressure off of our corners and safeties who are suspects sometimes, and linebackers. And Kimdichie overall, I think, would help us a lot. But that's if we take the season, and I'll talk about that if we lose. Are we going to lose or are we going to win? This is a must-win game, and honestly, I was impressed with the offense last week. I thought they did a very good job. If the offense from last week plays in this game, we'll score a lot of points, and I'll be very happy. The defense, it's like they play well and they keep opponents' scores low, but it's like when opponents need to score, they can score. It's like the defense cannot get a stop, ever. It seems like now. Jameis Winston is a rookie, though, and if this comes down to a game-winning drive for Tampa Bay, I don't see it happening. I think the Cowboys win this game. I'm going to say 21-20. Actually, no, I'm going to be more bold. 28-20. There you go. That's my pick. I think Cowboys win. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a star-studded Cowboy fan and I'm seeing, blue and silver, metallic, anyway. I'm not seeing Cowboy colors here. I really do think the Cowboys are going to win. And Tampa Bay, they're only 3-5. It's not like we're playing New England or Green Bay or even Seattle. Tampa Bay is not that good. I know the Cowboys have not been that good, but I think the Cowboys are seriously going to win this game. Now let me talk about Alabama. Let me see. I want to look at the Mississippi State Bulldogs football schedule. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to say, but let me look. Well, let me just talk for a minute about Alabama here. Alabama has been such a mixed bag this year. Wait a minute. Okay, well, I just saw their schedule, and now I'm actually more on the fence. But I think I'm going to stick with what I'm saying here, just because it's how I'm feeling this going. Alabama, I smell a trap here. I don't just smell a little scent of a trap. It reeks. It reeks of trap game. Because Alabama got up big for LSU, and they flexed their muscles, and they embarrassed LSU, to be frank. And this Alabama team is so weird to me because it's like when they play well, like they did against LSU, like they did against Georgia, like they did against Wisconsin, it's like they're unbeatable. I would pick them over any team in the country if they're on their game. But it's like when they're off their game, like a chunk of the Tennessee game, a very good chunk of the Arkansas game, Ole Miss, it's like they're terrible. It's like this Bama team is either world beaters or they're mediocre. And mediocre for Alabama is awful. It's sort of like, I remember last year I was really mad because we would have like several 3-and-outs in games. But it seems like it's even worse this year sometimes. And then other times it's like we're just unbeatable almost. So but I look at history, and after the LSU game, Alabama always seems to underperform. They're never, it's like they got, LSU's always a big mark on the calendar, get past LSU, and then we try and coast in the next game. And sometimes that's backfired. I'm thinking Texas A&M in 2012. I'm even thinking of who did we play 2 years ago after LSU? I don't know who I'm thinking, but the fact of the matter is, if you look at the last several years, after we get through LSU, we're never up on our A game. And I don't blame. I mean, I can't blame the guys. They're only, they're like my age, so I can totally understand that. But it's a fact, and it's something that'll hurt the team. So I smell a trap, and another reason why is Dak Prescott. I do not think he's a fantastic, oh my God, he's so good quarterback. He's not a Heisman candidate, obviously. He could be the best quarterback in the SEC. He probably is. But the main issue with Dak Prescott is he's dual threat. And Nick Saban defenses get burned on dual threat. This defense has been so gaudy and so stout and so good all year. The only game where they didn't look fantastic to me was the Tennessee game. And they had a dual threat quarterback, and he burned them several times. And if that guy, I don't remember the guy's name, if he can do it, Dak Prescott can do it too. And I look at Mississippi State, but then I'm on the fence now because I'm looking at Mississippi State's schedule. And here's what happened. So they lost to LSU in September, beat Northwestern State. I don't know what that is. Okay, Auburn, they beat 17-9. They lost to Texas A&M 30-17. Then they're on a 4-game win streak, and I knew that. But then I see who they won, who they beat. Troy. I don't know, LT, I don't know what the hell that is. They beat Kentucky, then they beat Mizzou. Now, the only win there that really stands out to me is the Mizzou win, which was last week. And it seems to me like this team is getting progressively better. They haven't played many good teams, so now that's where I'm like, but they're getting progressively better. And they're catching fire, it seems like. And a hot team with a dual threat quarterback has burned Alabama in the past. And it all depends on what Alabama team shows up, though. If the Alabama team that played last week shows up, Alabama is going to coast to a win. If the Alabama that played Arkansas shows up, it's going to be rough, guys. Or even Alabama against Texas A&M, they look fantastic. Excuse me. And then they just kind of stopped playing as hard, and then Texas A&M came roaring back. So I'm really not sure what's going to happen here. But the more I process all this in my mind, and the more I go over, Alabama is always sort of in a slump after LSU. Alabama is so inconsistent. This specific team is, plus the fact that dual threat quarterbacks can burn them. And I think about how Coker can turn the ball over all the time, and Henry could have a fantastic game when I'm not expecting it, to having just a mediocre average game when I would think he'd have a good game. So I think this is going to be a very close game. I smell a horrible, horrible trap. But who's going to win? And I keep on processing this in my mind, and I can't escape my feeling. Call me crazy, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think Mississippi State's going to win this game. I've thought about it for a week now. I've processed it in my mind. I look at all the different variables and factors, and I keep on coming to that conclusion. Could Alabama win this game? Yes. Should Alabama win this game? Yes. Alabama is the better team with better players and better coaches. But for some reason, whatever reason, this Alabama team underperforms a lot. And if they underperform against Mississippi State, it's going to bite them in their asses. And I fear that's going to happen. I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. But I feel like at the end of the day, Mississippi State is going to pull it out. And I picked Georgia. I didn't have it on video. I picked Georgia to beat Alabama, too, after the Ole Miss loss. And after that, I said, I'm never picking against Alabama again. But I've got to. I look at Mississippi State and what they've got going. And the only way Alabama wins, honestly, in my opinion, is if Derrick Henry can rush for at least 150 yards. 100 might be enough, but 150 to be safe. Either way, regardless of the numbers, he has to have a good rushing game. Henry can have days where he gets tackled in the backfield and he just goes down. We have to be able to move the ball with the run and open up the pass and get some pressure off of Coker, who does not deal well under pressure at all. If Henry can move the ball and run consistently, Alabama can win this game. If they shut down our run and force Coker to make plays, I think we're going to lose. And ultimately, again, I see scenarios where Alabama wins. I see scenarios where Mississippi State wins. But when I think about what I think is actually going to happen, and I hate it. God, I hate saying this. I keep coming to the conclusion that Mississippi State is going to come out with a win. I hope not, but that's what I see. And one big thing to help Alabama, though, would be the fact that it's a road game. But I'm just afraid that they got past LSU and they said, whew, that's it. And mediocre Alabama is going to show up and they're going to get burned. God, I hope I'm wrong. I say Mississippi State wins 31-28. That's my prediction. And I'll be back maybe really late, either really late on Sunday or Monday afternoon to go over my picks. And actually, no, I'll just do a reaction video to the Cowboys Sunday night and talk about Alabama then. And I won't talk about the others, just nothing really to say. Except unless there's like one specifically I want to talk about. All right, roll Tide, go Cowboys, and I'll see you guys later.